Hello, welcome to my tutorial on the latest interface for Google Drive Desktop. This latest version seems to be a match between the mobile version and bringing that design over to the desktop. To get started, I'm going to show you how to activate this version. I wouldn't recommend changing unless you want to get ready or if you're a new user to Google Drive. So here I am in the classic view, and I'm going to click on the settings button, and under the settings there's experience the new drive. This process will only take a few seconds and it will roll over the design to the new interface, and I'm going to highlight just some key changes and some features in Google Drive that are perhaps underutilized in this tutorial. So the first thing you might notice when you load the new Google Drive is that it brings all of the folders to the top. These are sorted here automatically by chronological date before the files. And if you're a user of folders, as I am, then you'll see that there are several folders before you even get to a file. Now if you do a search, it'll do away with the folders, and it'll either bring up the folders, if you don't use a lot of them, then they'll probably be meshed into the search where they would be in terms of how it makes sense to the search. So notice no folders here. Another key change is there's no longer an upload button. All files are managed through the new button. Under the new, you'll see a create folder, and here are your two upload options, either upload file or folder upload. I believe folder upload's only available if you're working in Google Chrome. Then you have your traditional new documents, as well as a more button with additional documents. If you're not currently on a search page, you'll notice here you have a My Drive button. It provides the same options, just laid out slightly differently. A couple other new features under this interface change is that incoming replaces the wording of shared with me. And over here, when I select an object, let's scroll down and choose an object here, the More button now just has 3 dots on it, but it provides the same set of options here. And then you have show a link, share with somebody else, get a preview, or delete. A feature I want to showcase today that has been around is the Information tab. Under the Information tab button, you have 2 tabs, Details and Activity. And if you're working with a Google Drive document of some sort, you'll see the Details will show you a preview of that document and give you some key information. What's nice here is this ability to add a description. It's helpful if you're working with images or videos. Then you can really add a description that's going to help in terms of search, because otherwise Google has no words to go by on these documents. So I would recommend adding those descriptions when you get a chance. Another useful feature is if you like the list view, you can certainly leave it here, but some people might prefer the grid view. And under the grid view, you get a preview of your documents so that you can actually kind of see many documents at once and what's in them and compare 2 things that look kind of the same. And then your folders don't take up as much room in this view. And the reason for all this change, maybe to look like iOS, but also Google has been pushing the separation of Google Drive from Google Docs and Google Sheets and Google Slides. They're going to have a separate app experience for each one of those, whereas Google Drive kind of brings everything together. Thank you for joining me. I'm Chad McGowan. You can find me online at AHS Tech Teacher on Twitter, and you can leave comments here or find me on Twitter to leave those comments.